here, and we're back with some more MRC action. This time we're back with the GT3 guys with their World Series Tour. This is round 6 from Lago Maggiore, or as I like to call it, Laggy. Let's just check if we've got audio coming back on the live feed. And we have there, that's smashing. So let's just do a bit of admin here. Just bear with me, guys. There we go. Alright, so welcome to the commentary for this race. This was a 60-minute race around Laggy GP. All 3 tyre compounds do have to be used this time. We don't have any rain on the horizon. So we'll just quickly run through the grid and the tyres as well, which will be very important as we start the race. So remember, it's soft, medium, hards that need to be used. So after 10 minutes of qualifying, Brucey puts it on pole in the Mercedes. Luck lines up in second in the Ferrari. Then we have the other Ferrari in third, Rossi. Then another Ferrari in fourth, Kenobi. Then we have the older Ferrari of Evel Knievel in fifth. Line up in sixth is the Porsche of Dennis, Mr. Want Some Sweeties. Then we have 7th is Jason in the Audi. 8th is Black Rhino in the Porsche. Marco is in 9th in the GTR. Sharukan joins us. He's in McLaren in 10th. Then we have Mark Catman. He's in 11th in the Subaru. In 12th is Smiles in the BMW. Another new livery for her. Very nice. And in line up in 13th is Mr. Wolf. He's in the VW. So apart from Brucey and Locke, who are starting on softs, and Rossi, who's starting on mediums, everyone is on the hard tyres. So you will see the top 3 break away. So we'll see how the strategy plays out. But without further ado, let's get this race underway. See who gets a good start. Brucey in the Mercedes should get a lightning start here. It's lights out then, and away we go. As predicted, Brucey gets a smashing start there. Evel Knievel gets a lovely start as well, using the old Ferrari power. The new Ferraris seem to bog down. He's found himself into second then on the hards as well, no less. So beating Locke there on the start on the soft tyres, but he should be coming back straight back through. As you got Rossi there down to 4th on the mediums. He's only lost 1 place then due to Evel Knievel, but you can see Locke's coming back already as Brucey is sprinting away. The main action there then second at the minute. Locke just got past Evel Knievel, now defending as we go into the corner at the bottom. You've got to take a wide line through that corner, just check where everyone else is. So Evel Knievel's there in third, but now he's coming on attack from Rossi on the medium tyres there. Kenobi's there in 5th, followed by Dennis right behind him. This is pretty much the staple for each race now. We can expect Dennis and Kenobi to be together. Jason there in 7th, a little bit of dust getting kicked up there through the S's. Black Rhino there in 8th in the Porsche, followed closely by the GTR of Marco. Then we have Smiles there in 10th. She's had a good start from the start there in the BMW. Then we have Sharukan now coming through the big banky boy. He's in McLaren, doing good for his first race so far. Wolf has made it up 1 position on Catman. He's now in 12th on the start, and there's Catman in 13th. It's going to be a long race for these guys starting on the hard tyres. You only have to do a minimum of 3 laps, so it'd be nice to see what these guys do. There's Brucey out in front by a couple of seconds already, just 1 lap. Brings it through the last corner, a little bit of a touch of the grass there as he goes through. There's Locke now in second, making that gap to Evel Knievel, who's third. Just defending from Rossi and Kenobi at the minute. A little bit of a lag twitching from Kenobi there in the background as we go through turn 1, 2 and 2. So watch this hairpin, careful on the exit as you accelerate out. Rossi's now up into third then. As we now go through the left-hander of turn 3 into turn 4. You can use the runoff area on the outside of this corner without getting a penalty, but you will get dirty tyres. So you've got to be mindful of that as we now head down the hill towards the long right-hander. It's a very weird corner. You go down and then you go back up. Oh, Evil can, as we say that, Evil can either lose it on the exit there, just ran it a bit wide. Got on the grass there and having trouble getting it out of the wall. Looks like he's stuck, and he gets reset as well for his trouble. Yellow flag flies. So that's a big unfortunate incident for Evil Knievel there. Was running in fourth, looking tidy. Now he's got work to do. I do apologise to Evil Knievel there that we caught that, but it's the way it goes. So Catman now on the back of Evil Knievel. Evil Knievel's going to want to dispatch these couple of cars as quick as possible, which he does. He's on the outside of the big banky boy. Goes for that overtake, gets round the outside. Smiles a little bit slow on that corner there. So Evil Knievel's back into 11th already. So we'll go back up to the front then. Brucey in first on the softs. Now these softs should last around between 7 to 9 laps, I would say, depending on how hard you drive on them. It sets the fastest lap of 1:57.1. So I'll see how this one pans out. We do start on 80% fuel as well, so it'll be interesting to see if these guys do fuel save or if they go all out. 33 laps for this race, so it should be close to about 70 minutes of racing. You can see Locke there in second. You can see that gap forming now between these guys. Rossi there in third. Just coming around the turn 4. Now down towards turn 5. Kenobi there, first of the hard runners. Then he's leading this little pack here. Got Dennis and Jason right behind him. Now, the weather conditions are a little colder as we start in the late morning, I believe it is, and we do have a little bit of cloud here and there, but this track is mostly going to be really hot, so the tyres are going to be close to blistering. So, one thing to watch out as we click down the laps. There's Black Rhino. Marco just behind him, running a little bit wide there. As we head now down the straight. Down towards Big Banky Boy. It's a lovely corner, one of my favourite corners on the on GT7. It's awesome when you get it hooked up. You've got to be careful on the exit though. You can run wide into that gravel. It's not a fun time as we go past the short East Circuit pit lane. Now heading through the next couple of corners. Kind of a double right-hander here. You don't get much time to think about before the next corner. Then you've got a left-hander here which heads down the hill towards the final corner. Again, you've got to be careful. This one, it is banked, but you can run wide onto the exit. If you get on that orange sausage curb, you will be in trouble. That wall comes very fast. Plus, one thing to note as well, the pit lane on the inside there, you've got to be careful if someone's pitting in front of you. Heavy braking zone into turn 1. Then you've got another braking zone down to first gear for most cars. Some people opt to go in second, like Mr. Black Rhino there. Now through the left-hander here. And just watch them as they go through this corner, down the hill. We'll check on with the other guys. There's Wolf up into 9th now, followed by Shrukin in 10th. Catman there in 11th. Smiles in 12th, but there's Evil Knievel. Something else has happened to him. Bless him, he's not having a good day at the minute. Down to 13th. Once again, he's going to dispatch Smiles. See if he can do that in the next couple of corners. Oh, Smiles run wide. There we go. He's made him easy. She's made it easy for him. So Evil Knievel back into 12th, then back, and there's Smiles in 13th. Back up to the top then. There's Brucey. There's the gap to first and second. not much there, probably about 5-6 seconds I would say, as we're on lap 4. You can see those soft tyres now starting to dwindle. Mercedes a little bit more wear than the Ferrari. So now head towards the final corner. A little bit of detritus and grass getting kicked up there by Locke. Now heading down the main straight to start lap 5. And there's Rossi already starting to catch up as these soft tyres go away. The mediums will be the faster tyre. So it evens itself out as they lose the time. There's Brucey just coming through turn 4, then on his way down to turn 5. Those fronts screaming, same with Locke. Rossi, not much tyre wear on the mediums then as he heads through turn 4. There's Dennis. There's the gap between medium and hards. Not much in it between these guys. So, a couple of strategies on offer then. You can either do a long stint on the hards and then go hell for leather on the medium and softs, or you can opt to do the free lap stint on the hards and get them over and done with quickly and do an extra stint on either the mediums or softs. So we'll have to see how it plays out. But if you don't fuel save, the fuel from a full tank lasts about 10 or 11 laps depending on the car, maybe even 9 laps if you've got a real gas guzzler. Fuel saving probably can make about 12 to 13, I'd say. Depends how much you fuel save. If you are using a fuel map, you probably go longer as well. So a couple of strategies on offer. We'll have to see which strategy is the fastest. But Brucey and Locke have given them a real chance today with going for the soft tyres from the start. Low fuel, fresh softs over everyone else who's on the hards. And you've got Rossi on the mediums as well. He's gone for the middle option. So we could have a close race at the end, depending on what people do. But it's going to be a 2-stop minimum race. So as we head on to lap 6 then, there's Dennis still in 4th. Kenobi there, 5th. Jason there in 6th, just coming round at turn 2 there. Then now we have Black Rhino and Marco still together, 7th and 8th. There's Wolf in 9th, just leading Shrukin and Catman. Smiles there in 12th, and I think, yes, Evil Knievel's pitted then off his hards, so he's done the minimum that he needed to do. Got rid of those hards as fast as possible. Now on the soft tyres, so now we can get these laps plugged away, see where he can catch up to. Obviously costly mistake from him running wide on the first couple of laps. Give him a little bit of work to do in this race, but we'll see how he progresses. So back up to the front, and you can see Brucey really suffering with this tyre wear now. I'd say he's probably going to do either one more lap, maybe 2. Try and get these softs as far as possible. And we'll have to see whether he opts for the mediums or the hards. Same with Locke. Very, very similar tyre wear and fuel wear then for these two. I think Brucey is fuel saving now. Yes, he is. There you go. Fuel saving at the minute, so trying to extend the stint as far as he can. As he heads for another lap onto lap 7, 1:57.0, fastest lap at the minute. Locke coming through now in 2nd. He's a 58.7 to Bruce's 59.3, so Locke is faster at the minute. There's Rossi coming through. He sets a 58.7, new personal best for him, so he's getting more lap time now. Then we have Dennis in 4th, sending a 59.3. Followed by Kenobi is 59.9. So a little bit gap forming between these two now. Dennis trying to break away. Jason there, 2:06. I So he's lagging behind on Kenobi a little bit. There's Black Rhino, 2:02. Then we have Marco, a 2:02. Very similar lap times between these two, not much in it. Wolf, 2:03.0 as he heads through turn 1 now. Then we have Catman is in the pits now, getting rid of those hard tyres. There's Shrukin coming through, 2:04.4. So Catman in then to the pits. Smiles, what's she going to do with 2:07.1? And then Evil should be a fast lap time for him, 57.9. So he's getting that lap time down now on the softs. Let's see what Catman is going to do. He's going for a full tank of fuel. And it's going to be a fresh set of mediums then, so he's opted for the mediums. Back up to Brucey. Is he going to pick this lap? You see those soft tyres, the state they're in. Almost out of fuel as well. Is he going to go in this lap? Looks like he's taking the tight line. Nope, he's going out on the outside. Gets over the curb, almost into the wall there. Keeps it out. So he's going to go for another lap then. Locke is also going to go for another one. They should definitely be pitting this lap. 8 laps. Rossi there, that gap's coming down to him, to Locke in front. 58.8 for him on the mediums. And we've got Dennis and Ginobili now coming through, followed by Jason in 6. Not many battles going on at the minute, just coming towards the end of the stint to the pit stop phase, so we'll have to see where people are after the pit stop cycle. There's Black Rhino still in front of Marco. And we have Wolf now coming through the final corner. What does he opt to do this time? It looks like he's going to go through for another one, same with Shrukin. And Evil Knievel got past Smiles and Catman now, making those soft tyres work as he comes towards the final corner. Tips it in, run down the hill. Cross the line, start lap 8. Lovely stuff from him. There's Smiles' new best time for 2:06.6. There's Catman coming through the final corner as well. Is he going to start closing that gap to Smiles before she pits? Now back up to the front then. Let's see what the Bruce Meister decides to do this time in the Mercedes. Looking very good in the Red Bull livery. So as he heads it down towards the final lap, final corner, let's see if he goes in the pits, gets that tight line there, into the pits. Be careful of the white line there. Try not to crash into the pit wall as well. Locke does the same. Yeah, we've got to keep it out of that white line or you will get a penalty. So Ross is now going to find himself in first. Brucey's got more fuel than 3% more fuel than Locke there as they pit. So Rossi up into first, then we got Dennis now in second, followed by Kenobi in third. Jason's into the pits as well from the hard tyres. Brucey's gone for a quick stint. He's only taken just shy of half a tank there, so looks like he's going to go for the three lap special on the hard tyres. May even do 4 laps. So Black Rhino and Marco now find themselves in 5th and 6th. Locke comes out with a full tank and gone on the mediums, so he's opted for the middle tyre then. So let's see how his stint pans out and where he finds himself towards Bruce. There's Shrukin now in 8th position, followed by Jason, who's now gone for the mediums. He's in 9th. Wolf is in the pits as well. Evil Knievel now coming through in 10th. Where's Smile? She's in the pits as well. We'll just have to keep... Oh, big moment for Catman there. Finds himself over that sausage curb. Keeps it out the wall though. Great save there. It looks like Wolf's gone for a full tank. I'm guessing he's going on the mediums. Yep, there he goes. He comes out on the medium tyres. And then Smiles still filling up the fuel. Back up to the front then. Rossi now in prime position. Still yet to pick. Let's see how many laps he can go. I'm going to say 10 or 11 laps maybe, if he can make that fuel stretch out. Coming towards the final turn now. And gets that line out onto the main straight there. Dennis is going to have to pit this time. He's low on the fuel, so early pit stop then for Dennis. Kenobi goes through. He's got a couple of, I'd say probably one more lap to do, so he can pit. There's Brucey already coming through then on those fresh hards. Now up into third. Black Rhino's coming round last corner. Josie go for another lap. He's got the fuel to do so. And he's going to, followed by Locke in the sixth now on those mediums, and there's Marco coming through as well. Fifth and sixth for these guys. He's low on the fuel now, the fuel light's flashing, so we'll have to pit this lap probably. Dennis now coming out on a fresh set of softs. Thought it was fresh hours then, but it just clicked over just as he come out. So attack time for Dennis then. See what he can pull out of the bag. Shrukin with Jason right behind him. Shrukin low on the fuel. He's going to have to try and defend with these fresh hards, but I think Jason's just going to be able to go around the outside like he does. Dispatches him quickly on those fresh mediums. Evil Knievel there now catching this gap up as well to these guys. He's on those soft tyres, but they're starting to dwindle away. 57.8 and a 57.9 last couple of laps, so still getting the lap time that he needs. Capman there on the mediums. A little bit of wiggle as he comes out of the hairpin of turn 2. Wolf on the attack mode now. And we got Smiles as well. She's going to be attacking, but she's dangerously close to getting lapped soon from the leader. Speaking of leader, coming through the last corner now. Fuel lights flashing. Can he stretch it out for one more lap? He's going to. So he goes through for another lap. Kenobi is definitely going to have to come in the pits this time, which he does. Crosses the beam. Into the pits he goes. There's Bruce, he's going to come through. And he's going to start lap 11 on the hard tyres. This should be his third lap, no, second. No, third lap, yeah, it's the third lap, 2:26 for lap 8, yeah. So, we're missing lap 9, yeah, it's gone 8, 11, 10, 11, so a bit weird there, but keep an eye on that. Look there, getting a little bit sideways out the hairpin there on the medium tyres. Gonna watch that power delivery as we got Black Rhino and Marco into the pits then, and Shrukin as well. So still going to be close between Black Rhino and Marco as they come out the pits. So Black Rhino's gone for less fuel and a fresh set of mediums. Marco's gone for full fuel and a fresh set of mediums. There's Catman just coming through now. Shrukin, what's he going to do? Looks like he's filling the tank. And he's going to come out on the fresh mediums as well. So very similar strategies from these guys. Got the hazard going. Smiles just coming through the last corner, but there's Rossi right behind it. But he's pretty much out of fuel here. Dangerously close. There he goes, runs out of fuel just as he comes in the pits, so strategy to perfection there. Couldn't have asked for better. Well, there's Brucey just coming through, and he's into pits as well, so he's done the mandatory laps on the hard tyres. Let's see what he decides to change to. He's done the softs, now the hards, so I think he's probably going to go for a stint of mediums. As Rossi fills up, he's going to come out ahead of Brucey. There's Locke going through. A little bit of damage there as well. It's a pretty good time for him though, so I'm not sure where he picked that from up front. Rossi is now on the hard tyres, a full tank of fuel, so it looks like he's going to do a full stint. Brucey, full tank of fuel as well. He's now on the mediums as expected. So now in the order, we've got Locke in first, then we have Dennis on the softs, Rossi there in third on the fresh hards, Kenobi on the mediums. He's opted for the medium stint then, and now Brucey on the mediums as well. So see how it pans out between these top 5 guys. Jason there on mediums, he's a couple laps old for him. Evil Knievel there coming towards the end of his soft stint. He is still closing that gap though to Jason. Black Rhino there in 8th, followed by Marco in 9th. These two have been together the whole race so far. Catman coming through on the mediums as well. Same with Wolf. Mostly everyone on the mediums then at the minute. Shrukin on the mediums too. Coming round turn 3 now. There's Smiles just coming through the last corner. She got saved by being lapped at the minute. She goes crosses the timing beam at 2:04, so she's getting faster lap times now that she's not on the hards. So great progress from Smiles. Again, a very, very nice livery. Lots happening on there. One Piece fan. Love a bit of One Piece. So coming across the line, stop lap 13. Then it's Locke in first. Stilbury's getting caught by Dennis in second. Then we have Rossi there in third, followed by Kenobi in fourth. And there's Brucey on his way back, catching Kenobi. Jason there in the 6th position. Just going to cross the lap time beam 13, lap 13. It's 2 minute 0.6. And then we have a 59.8 from Evil Knievel there. Black Rhino now coming through the final turn. Remember, he has slightly less fuel than Marco. It's 202.1 for him. Marco 201.9. Catman there 202.0. And then we have Wolf in 11th. What time is going to 201.0 on those mediums. Shrukin just drifting over to the grass there. It's a 2 minute 0.3. Then we have Smiles just coming towards the end of the lap now as well. But back up to the front then. It's pretty much just a focus on your own lap times at the minute. Although Dennis is starting to catch the lock. There he is, there's a gap right there as they come through a back end of the track now towards the end of the lap. Looking very tidy indeed. It's been a great season so far. Obviously we had the 90-minute race last week. There was some big points on offer. He had the rain and managed to plug through it. Locke had a nearly exit. Problem with the car, I believe it was. So he's looking for vengeance this time. Obviously next week we have the sprint and feature from Catalonia, and also Dragon feature will be from Dragon Trail Gardens. So it's a bit of a tricky track for the feature then next week. So some people like it, some people like myself absolutely detest it. The chicanes will be a hot spot for penalties and maybe incidents. There's got high curbs on the chicanes as well, so you've got to be careful and mindful of that. So one to watch out for next week then. And that takes place this Friday. It could be a very, very hot and sweaty one as well for the drivers, as we do have increasing temperatures in the UK at the minute. So we'll have to see how the drivers focus and can get on with the racing as we go through Big Banky Boy. Still on board with Locke, still in first, defending from Dennis there in second. Dennis's tyres now dwindling, so that performance boost will start going away. Medium tyres will start being the faster tyre. Rossi there in third, still on those hard tyres, followed by Kenobi in fourth. Just coming through the S's now up the hill. There's Brucey in fifth, starting to close that gap to him. Jason there in sixth, still doing consistent lap times for the Audi driver. Evel Knievel now towards the end of his stint. Soft tyres are pretty much gone. The fuel's almost gone as well. It's probably going to come in towards the end of this lap. Fast approaching the halfway mark. So, does he take the shallow line into the pits? He does. Keeps it out the white line there. Into the pits he goes. We got Black Rhino and Marco still together. Been together all race at the minute. Marco now trying to get past Black Rhino. Can he get it? Black Rhino's a really good defender, American. Uses the full length of his car to defend. You see Catman there in 10th, just in the background as well. Those are now on lap 15. Where's Evel Knievel come out? He's still in the pits, just getting a full tank of fuel. Let's see what tyres he's opted for. He's now on a fresh set of mediums, just in front of Wolf there in 11th. Then we have Sharukan in 12th. And Smiles there in 13th. She's doing a great job at the minute. Obviously this is her first proper racing championship with the MRC. Learning every time she races. She's starting to get the grips with the BMW as well, which is good to see. Those faster times will only come once you get comfortable. So Locke coming through the final corner then, still on the medium tyres. Just trying to take these medium tyres as far as possible. There's Dennis pitting from second. So from second then, Dennis pits on the soft tyres. You see that front left heavily worn. So we're going to have Kenobi going through up into third now. Brucey right behind him then. In fourth, fresher medium, about the same actually. He's got less wear on the rears than Kenobi does. So let's see if he can attack. I'll see if he's going to stay behind Kenobi and try and force him into a mistake. Stay on board with this little battle brewing here. Closest battle on track at the minute. So Brucey just biding his time then, just giving Kenobi a little breathing space there. You see the little twitchy lagginess of Kenobi's car as well, so Brucey's going to be mindful of that as well. So tries to get the overrun on him as we go head down to the big banky boy, if I can get my words out. It looks like Bruce is going to go side by side with him. He's going to challenge. So can he get this inside line done and get the move on this corner? Kenobi goes wide. Can he get the cutback? It looks like he can. A little bit of a touch of the gravel from Brucey there. But Kenobi's going to take the outside line and gets that move back past him. So Kenobi still in third then. Great racing from these two. Brucey just behind Kenobi when the camera finds them. So a little bit of a rethink for Brucey then, see where else he can attack Kenobi. Obviously every minute that he's behind Kenobi is going to cost him time towards the front two. Got to get this move done as fast as possible. He's got the pace to do so, just got to find the right place. I think Kenobi's probably fuel saving as well, trying to go long. So is Brucey as well, though, a little bit short shifting halfway, trying to extend the stint as far as possible. Brucey then now on the run down towards turn 5, just behind Kenobi. Let's see if he can get the drive that he needs out of this corner as we head up the hill. Mercedes power does have good acceleration over the Ferrari out these slow corners. I think they're evenly matched on the straight line speed. So we now head through the chicane, through the S's. Now onto the back straight. In his slipstream as we go down the back straight. See if Brucey can send it on him into the big banky boy. Just stays behind him for now. So still status quo between these two. Up ahead of these two is Rossi there on the hard tyres. And there's Locke on the mediums in first, just ahead. Still the closest battle at the minute for Brucey and Kenobi. We'll just watch them as they go through the back end of this lap then. We've got Locke in the pits now from first. We get rid of those medium tyres. So he's gone to lap 17, about halfway through the race now. So we're going to go for another lap with Kenobi and Brucey as they cross the timing beam. Brucey looking like he was going to send it. I think he just braked a bit late there as we now head through the hairpin, trying to get his nose seen by Kenobi in the mirrors as they're now in second and third. Obviously with Locke pitting from first. Rossi now takes the lead once again. Let's see if Brucey can dive it in. Got to put a couple of cars further back as Brucey gets it on the inside. Can he tip it in? Is there? He's going to nose in, but no. Kenobi gets the drive off the outside line then through that corner. So Kenobi still defending this position from Brucey. Brucey looks like he's getting a little bit impatient now. So we head through the S's once again. Brucey right on the tail of that Ferrari. Now we go down the back straight once again. Can Brucey get closer? He's too far back for a send at the minute. Looks like Kenobi is going to live to fight another day. Gets the exit nailed then. Now up the hill through the S's here. Still to and fro side to side twitch. As we come towards the end of this lap. Fast approaching a 40-minute mark of this race then. Yellow flag up front. Not sure what that was about. Not sure if someone just had an off-track excursion as Kenobi goes wide off the last corner, then keeps it out the wall. But that's going to hinder us both. We'll quickly go through the rest of the grid while this is happening. So there's Jason in fourth, followed by Locke in fifth now on the fresh hards. Mediums for Jason still. Dennis there on the mediums then in sixth. Marco heading this group, so he's got past the Porsche Black Rhino. Black Rhino there in eighth. Knievel there on the mediums in ninth, right behind them. There's Wolf in 10th, low on the fuel. Shuriken got quite a bit of fuel to go with him. Catman there on the fresh softs, then in 12th, and Smiles there on the mediums in 13th. But back up to this battle with Kenobi and Brucey. They're slowly catching Rossi as well in first, just trying to eat these hard tyres as best as he can. So all three of these leaders then together as we fast approach lap 20. There are the gaps then. So gap to Rossi is coming down. Now Kenobi will start catching his slipstream, which will help him in defending against from Brucey. So all three cars then make their way up the hill through the S as they go. Change of direction is awesome through those corners as we now head back down the hill through the double right-hander here. Now down the hill we go towards the final corner. Let's see who's going to dive in the pits. Rossi looks like he's going in. Yep, Kenobi and Brucey go through. So first and second for Kenobi and Brucey now. As Rossi comes in the pits off those hard tyres. Still close together for these two as they head through turn 2 through the hairpin. Now on the run down to turn 3. And then a quick left, right on to turn 4. Down the hill towards the late apex of turn 5. Bruce is still right there. I mean, these two guys are pretty equal on the fuel. Bruce has got a little bit more than Kenobi. Similar sort of tyre wear as well. Brucey just trying to close that gap back up to Kenobi. I think he might have had a lap or two to cool them tyres off from the battle. Let's see if his plan worked. Doing all this while saving fuel as well. Hey up Dave, what's happening Shagger? Welcome to the party mate. So big Banky boy then, guys go through. You see the tracks on the gravel there. Not sure if Kenobi just clipped them there. And go through the S's then. Now down towards the double right-hander. Kenobi still leading away from Brucey. So through the second right-hander here, now through the left kink, down towards the final turn. Let's see if... Cheers, Rossi. So Kenobi there, going through the final turn then, followed by Brucey in second. Still status quo between these two. There's Jason on the mediums, but fuel lights flashing. He's going to want to pit now, probably. Unless he can go for another lap and eke it out. He's going to do that with Luck right behind him on the hard tyres. Dennis is there in 5th, followed by Rossi now on the fresh softs. Now let's see if how long he can get these softs to last. Might probably going to do a double stint on the soft tyres to the end. Evil Knievel there in 7th, just on the medium tyres now. Still battling his way up the grid after the early incident he had. There's Marco in 8th, just going a little bit wide on the last corner. Managed to get around Black Rhino. There's Black Rhino in 9th. Shuriken there in 10th, followed by Catman in 11th. There's Wolf in 12th. And Smiles at the back in 13th. But back up to the front then. Kenobi and Brucey still going at it. Brucey just trying to close that gap still to Kenobi. Let's see if he can get done before they pit. Oh, he's definitely going to catch up now. Kenobi runs it wide in the gravel. of the big banky boy. So that's going to hinder his momentum all the way up this hill. You see that gap visually coming down for Brucey. Now, see if Brucey can mount an overtake on to Kenobi. Again, these two are very similar in tyre wear and fuel. I think Brucey's got a little bit more fuel. So, see what happens here as Brucey goes a little bit wide there off the corner, gets through the grass, but doesn't really hinder his progress as we go down the main straight towards turn 1. And tip it in, bounce it over the curbs, now through turn 2 in the hairpin. Brucey just trying everything he can to try and catch this leader. There's Jason and Locke pitting then from 4th and 5th. Mediums for Jason. Locke's got the hards on. So he's done the mandatory 3 or 4 laps that he needed. You see cars all over the track just doing their own thing at the minute. As they fill up the fuel in the pits. You've got Kenobi and Brucey still together on track. Dennis is there, just heading down towards turn 5 on the mediums. Rossi there on the softs. He's starting to close that gap now. Evil Knievel finds himself in 5th position, followed by Marco in 6th. Locke's there, just come out of the pits. He's on mediums. And there's Black Rhino on the old... Oh, we got a little bit off-track excursion for Marco, then ran a bit wide. That is surely going to give the position to Locke as he finds himself on the inside then. Gets that move done, but now Marco's got trouble because he's got Black Rhino and Jason right behind him. 4 cars all on down to turn 5. Jason on the inside trying to get past him. Gets that move done, but does Marco have the drive on the outside? Looks like he might. Does he concede this position? Don't go into the S's. He does. Look there, just heading the way for this little gap then. So Marco losing 2 positions unfortunately there. But he's probably going to do another pit stop soon, followed by Black Rhino. So Kenobi is in the pits from 1st. Decides to take the earlier pit stop to Brucey. Brucey goes for another lap then. So, let's see what Kenobi's going to do. There's Dennis coming through now. He's going to go for another lap then, on to lap 23. He takes 2nd. There's Rossi coming through now as well in the Ferrari. He's going to be back up into 3rd. Kenobi just getting the fuel. I'm going to say he's probably going to be on the soft tyres. After his medium stint, goes hard on the fuel then, full tank. Oh, that was a bit weird lag spike there. Fast forward out the pits. And yes, he's on the soft tyres. Evil Knievel just coming through then in 5th position. There's Smiles starting to get lapped now by these guys. She goes wide on the first turn there. Again, Smiles, you can run your own line. These guys will get past you. You don't need to wreck your own race. Jumping out the way. Cheers, Kenobi. So, we'll just have the status of the race then at the minute. So, Brucey hasn't pitted yet. He's got 1 more stop to do. Low on the field there. He's in 1st position. He's got a hell of a gap to 2nd. Dennis there on the mediums. Not sure whether he can make it to the end from here. There's Rossi on the soft tyres there, starting to do another away. He's in 3rd position. Kenobi there, full tank, fresh off, he's in 4th. There's Knievel in 5th position. Quarter of a tank left. He's probably going to have to pit before the end of the race now. Oh, big moment for Jason there. Let's have a little bit of look what happens here. We're right on board with him. Tips it into the S's here. Oh, it just catches too much curb, and then the back end of the Audi says, no, thank you. Exit stage to the right. A little bit of damage on the front there. That's a big accident for Jason there. Unfortunate as well. There's Brucey into the pits from the lead as well. So all happening on lap 23. So Black Rhino now in 9th position. Just got Wolf right behind him, who's now on the soft tyres. So Black Rhino could potentially lose another position here. Catman there in 11th on the fresh mediums now. Shrukin there on the fresh softs in 12th, and Smiles on relatively fresh mediums in 13th. So Brucey going for a full tank. Does he go for a soft or the mediums? Looks like he's going to for another set of mediums then. So doesn't have much confidence in those soft tyres. Let's see how the end of this race pans out then. You've got Rossi and Kenobi on soft tyres. There's Dennis on all mediums. So probably going to have to do another stop for Rossi and Kenobi. It won't last till the end of the race from here. So if Brucey doesn't have to pit again, it could be a close finish. We'll just have to see how much of a gap Kenobi and Rossi have to Brucey when they pit. There's Evil Knievel. Yep, she does stick it up. She's getting better as well. Yeah, she's persevering with it. There's a lock in 6 on those fresh medium then. Jason, after his little bit of incident there on the softs, still plugging away. Marco there on the fresh softs now in 8th position, followed by a Wolf. Hawthorne softs there. Black Rhino on the fresh softs as well. These guys should be good to the end of the race now. Catman there on the mediums, followed by Shrukin in 12th on the soft tyres. Smiles still plugging the laps away in 13th on those mediums. A little bit of moment there after a big banky body, but keeps it going. So backwards to front, and Dennis is being caught by Rossi on those soft tyres. Mediums dwindling away, getting wear every single lap. You can see the marbles everywhere on the track as well. Costa, Starbucks, we'll see. So Dennis then heading through turn 4 now. Definitely going to have to pit again. We've got more than 5 laps to the end of the race. We're only on lap 25 of 33. So Rossi there in 2nd, closing his gap up. Evil Knievel's back in the pits as well. Kenobi there in 3rd. Brucey there in 4th. On the mediums, lovely slide from Brucey down the back end of the Mercedes. A lot goes through to take 5th position from Knievel. He should be good to go to the end of the race. Jason's there in 6th, just coming through now. Yes, we all know it's all about cost to do. Starbucks is not very nice and very expensive as well. So Jason then just coming through turn 4, now on the run down to turn 5 in 6th. There's Knievel on fresh softs. He should be good to the end of the race then. And Black Rhino there in 8th. Now still battling with Marco. This is a battle till the end of the race, I feel, with these two being together the whole race. Let's see how this one pans out. There's a Wolf just behind them in 10th. Catman there in 11th, still followed by Shrukin in 12th, and Smiles in 13th. Just coming under fire from being lapped as well. So back up to the front then. Dennis still going. Yeah, very true, mate. Very true. So Dennis coming through turn 2 then. Starting to struggle with those mediums as they start wearing away. Rossi there in 2nd. Closing that gap to him. Kenobi's there in 3rd. These tyres are still good. Not sure when they're going to pit though. Bruce is there just coming through now through the hairpin in 4th position. Lock there in 5th, just coming through the last corner. And we're going to have to start thinking about drive of the day soon. I don't think it's going to be one of the front runners. I mean, they've had a cracking race so far, but I think I'm actually going to give the driver of the day to one of the guys at the back end of the field this time, just for purely sticking it out. It's not easy running at the back, especially when you've got no one to battle, and then you've got people starting to lap you as well. But yeah, it's not easy. It's all well and good when you're up front battling for positions, podium positions, wins and stuff like that, and even in the mid pack as well. I think I'm actually going to give driver of the day to Smiles. She's every single week she plugs away, counts down the laps, minds her own business. Maybe a bit biased here, but I think she deserves it this week. Not really had any incidents as well. She's getting the hang of the car. So, yeah, driver of the day for me is going to be Smiles. And set that in stone right now. I think everyone can agree she has deserved it. Yep, she's getting a lot more consistent. Which we all know consistency is key in this game. So back up to the front then, we have the update on the race. Dennis is in first, but he's going to have to pit soon for the fuel starting to dwindle. Rossi there then will take first position if he doesn't get it before in second. Kenobi there in third, a little bit of a gap to second. He's just coming through turn 5 now. Then we've got another gap to Brucey in fourth. He doesn't have to pit. Same with Locke in fifth. He doesn't have to pit either to the end of the race now as he runs a little bit wide. Oh, careful on the tyres there, Locke, as he takes it for a grass cutting exercise. It's a very expensive lawnmower. There's Jason coming through in 6th position just behind him. Then we have Evil Knievel on those fresher softs, shall we say. He's in 7th. Thank you, Mr. Postman, for making my letterbox being banged about. There's Marco then, a little bit of a gap to Evil Knievel. He's in 8th position, managed to get past Black Rhino once again, is in 9th. Catman there in 10th. Wolf is pitted from 11th position. Shuken's going to go through in 11th there. Then we have Smiles in 13th. So, pit stop then for Dennis and Brian Rossi as well. So, this should be the last pit stop for these guys. There's Kenobi going to go for an extra lap or two in 3rd position. He's going to go through into first. Brucey now coming through as well. He's going to pass these two in the pits. So it's crunch time for these guys. Can they catch Brucey up before the end of the race? They've got a few laps to do. He's going to pull out probably about nearly 20 seconds, I would say, between Brucey and Rossi there. So we'll have to keep an eye on this gap coming down, but Rossi is going to be flying now. Now he's on the soft tyres. Dennis there on the softs also as well. So few little complications for Brucey to worry about now. There's a Lock in 5th position, just coming through the hairpin. He should have that 5th position signed and sealed. 6th for Evil Knievel. Unless there's any other issues, he should be good till the end of the race. Jason there in 7th. Marco in 8th position as well. Good to the end of the race now. Followed by Black Rhino in 9th. Catman there in 10th. Shruken in 11th. Wolf there in 12th, and Smiles making her final pit stop. She's down the soft tyres to the end of the race, so we'll see if she can get some good lap times away now. So back up to the front then, this is the main battle here. We got Kenobi just coming through the back end of this lap towards the final turn. Is he going to pit this lap? Which lap is he going to pit on for his final stop of the race? The soft tyres are starting to wear. He dives in the pits now, so we'll have to keep an eye on the gap. There's Brucey just coming through now. No fuel needed for Kenobi. There's only a few more laps to go. There's Rossi coming through now. Kenobi just getting his tyres as these two goes through. Rossi just coming through first turn. Dennis now coming through. Kenobi takes a little bit of fuel, splash and go. So Dennis round at turn 1. Kenobi down to 4th position now. So these gaps are going to come down to Brucey as the soft runners plug away these laps and get quality laps is what they need now to the end of the race. All Brucey has to do is bring it home. He's going to try and do the best he can. There's Rossi. Low fuel as well should bode well for these soft tyres. Now through the S as we go. Then through the left here, and then we've got another left-right kink as we head onto the back straight. He's going to want to get purple set times 2:10 slower there. There's Dennis now setting purple set time, followed by Kenobi who's just doing his out lap. But all eyes on Dennis at the minute. He's purple as he comes through Big Banky Boy. Now through the exit, up the hill. Now through the S as we go then. As we're now just almost about to hit an hour in this race as well. So through the double right hander we go. Dennis getting that Porsche to wind its way. There's Rossi. There's Brucey just coming through the pack now. So let's see what this gap's going to be. Across the timing beam now, it's about 6-7 seconds between these two. So that timer is coming down. There's Dennis in third, just leading the way from Kenobi in 4th. Lock there in 5th on his own. Just a drive home now to finish in the top 5. There's Knievel, going to finish in 6th. I feel like that's a pretty good result for him after the work he's had to do after the early incident. Jason in 7th. He's going to follow through the double right-hander down towards the last corner. Getting that Audi settled through the final corner then to finish lap 29. On to lap 30 he goes. Marco there in 8th, followed closely behind by Black Rhino. There's Shrukin in 10th in the McLaren. Done a good job for his first race, top 10 finish. Can't grumble about that at the minute then. Wolf there in 11th, followed by Catman close behind him. This could be a position change for these two positions here as well. And Smiles in 13th, now getting some faster lap times done. She's going to set a 2:03.4, so she's getting quicker. Obviously be on the softs as well. There's Brucey then, and then there's the gap to Rossi. Rossi catching him every single lap, every single corner. And you see those mediums fairly worn at this point as well. So he's not going to have the time performance that he would like against the fresh softs, but going to have to try and make it work towards the end of this race. Only 3 laps to go. It's going to be the most tense 3 laps of Bruce's race so far. There's Rossi just coming through turn 1 now into turn 2, so you can see that gap visually now. There's Dennis being hounded by Kenobi as they come through the first 2 corners as well. Again, it's the end of another race and we've got Dennis and Kenobi together. Go figure. and this is going to be a battle between them to the end of the season. Why break the norm now? As Kenobi is going to tip it into the inside, try and get this overtake done. Can Dennis come back at him? He's going to have a little bit of momentum on the inside there. He's going to have to concede that position for the minute. So if he keeps on it, as Kenobi goes a little bit wide there, as we head through the S's, Dennis right behind him. Now on to the back straight. Let's see what Dennis does this time. Can he send it on the big banky boy? Looks like he's going to try as they go side by side for a brief moment there. Nobi and Dennis a little bit wide on the curb there, so status quo between them two, but they're going to continue to battle probably for the end of the race now. All the rest of the positions are as they were. No major battles going off at the minute, apart from the battle for the top 4 positions. There's Brucey just coming for the final turn, and there's the gap now. Couple of seconds at best. Let's try and see if we can see what gap it's going to be. About 3-4 seconds now then. So Brucey starting to get the stress levels rising. As you can see, Rossi now in his mirrors. He's got the rest of this lap and the next lap to go to the end. There's Kenobi and Dennis as well. They'll start closing these gaps to these two as well. Not sure they can do it from here, but they're going to give it a good try, especially if Brucey and Rossi start battling. Lock there in 5th. Should be good to the end of the race now. Same with Jason in 6th. There's Evil Knievel in 7th. Lost the position. Can he get back up to Jason in 6th position? Marco there in 8th. Followed by Black Rhino in 9th. Shruken there in 10th. Catman in 11th. Got past Wolf for that 11th position there. 12th is Wolf, and Smiles there in 13th. So back up to the front then. We'll go on board with Brucey. You can literally see the gap there now. There's Rossi right behind him. He's going to try and get that first position before the end of the race as we head towards the end of this lap now. I think there's a couple of back markers in front of Brucey as well that he might have to contend with in this final lap, which could slow him up. We'll just check on Kenobi and Dennis. A little bit gap forming between these two now, so it looks like Kenobi has got that third position signed and sealed. But it's between these two we need to look out for. So as we head through turn 1 then, a little bit of slide from Brucey there as he tries to get the power down. Rossi getting ever closer as we go through the first 2 turns now into turn 3. Following through to turn 4. Down the hill we go. None of them run off their area there. Don't want dirt on their tyres. You see Kenobi just going through as well. Second slower for Brucey then on those worn mediums. And you see the wear on the soft tyres as well. It's not going to be easy for Rossi then. So we now come through the S's. There's Wolf just in front of Brucey. Brucey's going to try and get a little toe from Wolf, maybe help him down towards the big banky boy. Not really hinder him. A little bit of dirty air coming off that Beetle, but it shouldn't hinder him too much as he gets around Wolf, then cuts back in front of him as he heads towards banky boy. There's Rossi. He's dispatched a lap car as well. No mistakes from these two in this final lap. Look at the gap now, very close. Are we going to see a position change on the very final lap, or can Brucey defend this first position to the line? Once the camera finds the cars, he's literally on his rear end now. And now down towards the final turn. One mistake here could spell disaster for Brucey. Tips the car in, gets the curb, doesn't run it too wide. It's going to be a photo finish between these two. Brucey's going to clinch the win. Rossi second. Great race from these guys. Kenobi's going to come on to finish in third. Last podium stop for him. Gets around Dennis. Dennis is going to finish in fourth. What's going to bring the car home to finish in fifth position. Yep, catch you later, Shagger. So, great result for Locke. The top five, can't argue with that. But great race for Brucey and Rossi then. It was close, probably one more lap Rossi needed, and he would have got the victory there. But great race all the way to the line after over an hour's race as well. You know, you can't ask for more than that. 2 temps between them. Yep, always one more lap is what we need. But Locke's going to finish home in fifth then. Jason's going to bring the car home to finish in sixth. Good haul of points for him. Right behind him is Evo. Knievel's going to finish in seventh. Marco's going to come home to maybe finish in eighth. It's touch and go here now. Low on the fuel. Tyres are heavily worn as well. He's battled with Black Rhino the entire race. Great racing from both of them. Should be able to finish the race. Loves to cut it fine with the fuel, but he's going to take 8th position. 9th position for Black Rhino. Shrukin's going to come home on his debut race in the GT3 series, World Series. He's going to finish in 10th in the McLaren, or is it? Those heavily worn tyres, it might be a last lap position. Catman gets that position then before the line on last corner. Is going to finish in 10th, 11th for Shrukin. We're going to pause it there so we can get the other two as well. So great little last lap battle then between those two. Wolf is going to finish in 12th in the Beetle, and Smiles is going to take that last position in 13th, and the driver of the day as well. So another cracking race from the GT3 guys there, lobby free. I've been the Crazy Brett. Until next time, see you.